This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho, there's Jeff Cutterdove, and welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe on this date. And on this day, September 29th, in the year 1954, one of the greatest baseball catches of all time happened in Game 1 of the 1954 World Series. It was the New York Giants, before they moved to San Francisco in 1958, facing the Cleveland, I know they say redacted, but I call them the Tribe. But anywho, Cleveland was heavily favored. They won 111 games, and that was an American League record for the longest time until 1998 when the Yankees got 114 wins. And also that Cleveland broke the Yankees' streak of pennants, as the Yankees won 5 straight American League titles and subsequently 5 straight World Series. Cleveland was heavily favored, with Bob Lemon and Bob Feller going to be the big guys. With I think Mark Garcia also was a pitcher that time. Anyway, the Giants, by contrast, were 3 years removed from their big shot heard around the world thanks to Bobby Thompson. But anyway, the Giants needed something. They needed something big. The Indians were hopefully trying to win. With the score at 2. The score was 2-2. When Sal Maglet came up to the plate, walked Larry Doby, and then there was a single, gave up a single to Al Rosen. So it was first and second, no outs. He was yanked for Don Lytle because Vic Wertz was a left-handed batter, and so he did. Wertz worked the count to 2 balls, 1 strike before hitting Lytle's fourth pitch, 420 feet deep to center field. Normally, in a normal Major League ballpark, that would be a home run because center field usually is 400 or 405. But this was the Polo Grounds, and this stadium was built in the 1920s, or in its current form, in its real format. And center field was more than 480 feet away to a really deep center. If it wasn't for the Polo Grounds, this would have made Cleveland go up 5-2. But the Polo Grounds center field was larger than average, and Mays, who was playing in shallow center field, actually had to run back to catch the ball and made the on-the-run, over-the-shoulder catch at the warning track. He caught the ball and immediately spun it through the second base. Larry Doby could have scored all the way from second base if he had tagged up, but he completely botched it. Well, he ran when the ball was hit, but had to scramble back to tag, and he only got to third base. So Mace's throw, which was very underrated, he made the catch, but that throw, the second, was underrated because it kept Doby from scoring to make it 3-2. Runners were on first and third, so they decided to go with Marv Grissom. Grissom walked Dale Mitchell, the pinch hitter, to load the bases. Ironically, this wouldn't be the first time Dale Mitchell's name would be in World Series lore, because 2 years later, he was the last guy out in Don Larson's perfect game in Game 2 of the World Series. No, it was Game 6, wasn't it? Can't remember. It had to be Game 6 because Larson fumbled in Game 2 of that series. But anyway, Dave Pope came up and he struck out. So there was 2 outs. Mitchell walked. And then Jim Hagan, the catcher, flew out. And the Giants could not, with their luck, the Tribe did not score. And then in the 10th inning, bottom of the 10th, the Giants had a 3-run home run by Dusty Rhodes. Not the wrestler, but a Giants pinch-hitting magic man who I believe hit 1 or 2 more home runs in the World Series. But anyway, it didn't matter. Here's the call. According to Jack Brickhouse, who was calling the game for NBC alongside Ross Hodges. Well, Hodges did the Giants games on the radio, and, Giants won the pennant. That was that guy. Here we go. There's a long drive way back at center field. Way back it is. Oh my, caught by Mays. The runner on second, Dobie, is able to go to third. Willie Mays just brought this crowd to his feet with a catch which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people. Boy, notice where that 483-foot mark is in center field. The ball itself, what? Russ, you know this ballpark better than anyone else I know. Had to go about 460, didn't it? Certainly did. I don't see how Willie did it, but he's been doing it all year. Willie Mays just made the catch of the day. A lot of people said center field. They didn't know how many feet it was. It didn't matter. I mean, it was still a fantastic moment. A physicist actually said that if the temperature was a couple of Fahrenheit above what it was, well, it was 24 Celsius at the game. And if it was 25 Celsius, the ball would have traveled 2 inches farther and the catch could not have been completed. Kind of pathetic and all that. Willie Mays even said that he made a better catch as a rookie at Forbes Field, making a running barehanded catch, and then made a catch against the center field wall at Ebbets Field. But hey, this was huge. And it was also huge with the fact that the Giants used the momentum from the catch and Rhodes' 3-run home run to win the series against the Tribe. Not only did they win the series, they swept the 1954 Cleveland Indians in one of the greatest World Series upsets of all time. I don't think it is the greatest upset of all time, maybe by record, but you gotta remember the 1960 Pittsburgh Pirates had no business against the 1960 Yankees, and the Yankees badly outscored them by almost a 2-1 margin every game. But yet, the Yankees still lost Game 7 next to Mazeroski's home run. So yeah, the Giants used that to sweep the Cleveland team and win the World Series, which would be the last time the Giants franchise would win a World Series until 2010, when they finally ended a 56-year drought. A lot of people said there was a jinx because, the Giants moving from New York to San Francisco. The Giants did get to the 1962 and 1989 World Series without a title. 62 was even more stunning when you read Charlie Brown a few weeks after Game 7 of the 62 World Series when he wails, "Why couldn't McCovey have hit that ball 2 feet higher?" Because that would have scored the 2 runs that needed and get the Giants a walk-off win in the bottom of the ninth against the Yankees in 62. 89, they got swept, but this was the year of the earthquake, so yeah, they didn't have the momentum. But yeah, Giants are good, and Willie Mays still has got to make one of the catches. He had to have made that catch because if it wasn't for the Polo Grounds being, the Polo Grounds, that would have been a home run, and Cleveland may have won the World Series. So, yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.